All right. It's the 21st of May. It's a Wednesday, and we got just under 30 minutes to the NY Open. Let's go to the charts in a bit. Okay. All right. Sound is good. Video is good. Let me know. Fantastic. Thanks, Philip. Okay, let's start with the calendar, like we usually do. It's Wednesday today, 21st of May. There is no news, nothing. So we should have a regular trading day, usual trading. Anyway, there is no news this week or next week. This is not important. Um, just a second. Okay, so on the daily, what happened? We had a big move yesterday, finally, right? We pushed through the levels that we were anticipating price to push through. It did. We have almost a 900, I think just over 900 pip candle. Yeah, just over 900 pip candle. Excellent, right? And that volume came in the NY session, which is a good sign, right? It came in around just before the 4-hour candle close. I think around just before 15 minutes prior to NYSE open or right at NYSE open. Let's take a look. We'll take a look at that later on the low time frames. Now, they're pushing up. Now remember, let's go a time frame up to what we've been anticipated this week. At the beginning of the week, on Friday, I said the candle will close bearish, right? Either with a smaller wick or a big wick for the next week to fill. And that's what happened. Now, this is very possibly a liquidity grab for price to start pushing down again. Very possible. This is not a reversal, right? We'll have to look on the low time frames and see if this is a reversal. But this is probably a liquidity because the weekly candle has no top wick. The previous weekly candle has no top wick. This is a candle coming up there to grab liquidity, to create a top wick and to push down. That's very possible, right? We'll have to see if price is coming to, how we'll know is on the lower time frame, is price coming to a decision level or a decision area. On the daily, we have a decision level right here, right? There was a decision level here, a rally-based rally that ignored and price went down. Then we formed a decision level here, all around 3329, right? Around 3329, we formed a decision level here. Price pushed down. On the way up, it ignored it again, right? And then it pushed down, and on the way down again at 3329, it created one more decision level, right? So we'll have to see now, like I've said, I've said this many times before, when price comes to decision level, the way to know that if price is going to go through that or reverse at that is to watch the lower time frames, right? If we start ranging, 4-hour candles start closing inside that range at that decision level. You'll have one 4-hour candle, then one more. Then we know price is very likely it's ranging in that area and it's very likely going to go through, right? That's the signal, that's the sign. If price gets to this area, 3329, right? 3329, 3329, 3329, we come there and you form 30-minute resistance immediately and a 30-minute tradable back candle closes. That means that area is going to push, it's going to reverse price and push it back down, right? That's the sign that we need to look for, right? Those are the two things. Are we going to reverse, or are we going to range and then go through, right? If you range and go through, then this is very likely a reversal and price is heading all the way back up. If price forms resistance when it gets here to 3329, right, and a tradable 30-minute back candle closes and price starts to push down, then this is a liquidity grab for price to come and fill the weekly candle wick, right? That's how you know what's going to happen here on the weekly time frame. All right, I hope that makes sense. If not, ask me again. I'll explain all again. Okay, just a second. Yeah. All right, so the daily candle closed at 3289. We should be pushing to 3329. right? As I said, we should be pushing to 3329. So we might have a buy opportunity in the first 2 3 hours, even 2 to 4 hours of the NY Open. We might have a buy opportunity for price to continue to push up, right? And then later on, as I said, we'll have to see if 30-minute resistance is going to form once price gets to that area, this decision area of 3329, right? Roughly that area. It doesn't have to specifically be exactly at 3329, but that area. So that area is about 200 pips away. Okay, all right, let's go to our trading chart. Now, yesterday, there was a level here, but there was no trade to take, unfortunately. There was a level, and I'll explain what the level is. 3230 is a weekly SR level, and I've said whenever price crosses a weekly SR level, you have to go to the lower time frames and take a look at that area. On the lower time frame, we have, once price crossed here, we have a rally, a base, and a rally on the 1 hour time frame, right? This is what we saw prior to this candle. This is what we saw here. This is what we saw before this candle. Yeah, this is what we saw, right? A rally-based rally at NY Open. This is what we saw. Now, there's a candle there, and there's also, I mean, there's a zone there, a rally-based rally, a demand zone on the 1 hour time frame, also on 30-minute time frame, very clear on the 30-minute as well, right? That's the zone. I think there are 4 basin candles there, 1, 2, 3, 4, and the leg up, right? Leg in, 4 basin candles and leg out. And then there's a liquidity candle there on the 15-minute, right there, right? It crosses the weekly SR level, that one. And that's exactly where price dipped into and pushed all the way up. Unfortunately, 30-minute support didn't form for us to take this trade. It formed after, once price dipped, and price didn't pull back to take the trade. So there was no, for me, at least for me, because I'm a pullback trader, I wait for the pullback. There was no pullback to get in on the trade. If you're a breakout trader, then obviously there was a trade on the 15-minute time frame. If you looked at it, you could have taken the breakout from here, but those are for those are for breakout traders. I don't trade breakouts. So there was no opportunity for me to get in on these buys, and price just ran after that. I said it would be running through all of these liquidity levels. I said we were coming at least to 3289. We came there pretty easily inside of the NY hours, and then later on we continued even higher. Okay, so let's get rid of all of these. Okay. We've come now. We spoke about this. I've been speaking about this actually this entire week, um, e- even last week. This gap, I said we're going to come to fill that gap, and that's exactly what price did. It's come, right? Price closed here, opened here. There's I think a 408 pip gap or something, 410 pip gap. Price has come and filled the gap, right? We're almost there. We're almost there to fill it. So we are going to push further up to fill that gap, right? So that's the trade I'm looking for today, for price to continue up to fill the gap to get to 3329, right? That's to get to 332. That's a trade that I'm looking for. If we get it, if we don't, then we'll have to wait to see once price gets to this area, whether we're going to form 30-minute resistance to take a sell trade, because that will be a bigger trade if price forms 30-minute resistance, the drop will be a bigger trade. That we can hold a few runners for that the trade for price to come down if we form 30-minute resistance, right? In the first hour or so, first hour to 2 hours of getting there, price needs to form 30-minute resistance and a tradable 30-minute back candle has to close for this move up to be a liquidity grab. Okay, I've said it again. I hope it's clear, right? In the first 1 to 2 hours, once price gets there, it needs to form 30-minute resistance and a clear tradable 30-minute back candle needs to close for this move up to be a liquidity grab. And if it is a liquidity grab, then we're coming all the way down again, right? Okay, let's start with demand. Sorry, just get rid of these also. Okay, so we have a demand zone right here. A rally base rally. We're going to take a look at that on the lower time frame because we've crossed a weekly SR level and a psychological round number as well. Okay. Then we're going to take a look at this also. Let's go to the 1 hour time frame. Oh yeah, it's a mess there. It's a mess. Yeah, it's ugly. We'll have to, let's get a 30-minute time frame. Yeah, there is a base here. There is a base there on the 30-minute. Drop base rally. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to use the 1 hour time frame for this. We could use the 1 hour time frame, right? Yeah. It's going to be something. It's ugly. It's a mess because we've been ranging all the way up. But this is the best way to draw it. This would be the rally. All of these would be base-in candles, and then this would be another rally. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 base-in candles and a rally, and then a base again, and then a rally again, right? So yeah. So we have to combine these like this. So then now we have to make sure it doesn't overlap. So this open is 755. 846 755 846. Okay. This low is 423. Okay. Right. So this would be 4 hour demand, and the one above would be 1 hour demand. All right. Yeah, let's take a look at this area as well. There's nothing here. Price has gone straight through. There's nothing here. And now all of this would be a base. All right. This is a massive base now, 376 pip base. All of that. So this invisible candle would be the leg in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 base in candles, and then this would be the leg out. So like so. That would be the correct base now, right? So this low is 484, 203. Okay, rally, base, rally. Perfect. And that's also on the 4 hours, right? Okay, in between, let's just take one look at this area. There's nothing in between. There is this, but it's not at a weekly SR level. 1 second. Yeah, yeah. This is good. It's good. Okay, yeah. So that's demand, right? That's demand. So we have 3 new demand zones. The supply is from previous. I'm going to just extend it to the right. Second, yeah, yeah, that's good. Yeah, we've covered about 580 pips to the upside. Let's, just in case, yeah, extend this as well. Okay, perfect. Right. Okay, let's take a look at these areas and see if we have high liquidity zones here, right? Um, this one on the lower time frame, on the 1 hour. Have we taken out anything to the left? Yeah, there's a gap there, but there is on the 30-minute, there is a zone here, all right? Even on the 15-minute, there will be a rally and a drop here, and this move up took out this high, so this is a high liquidity zone. Okay, and the one below, look left. Yeah, we took out this drop, base, drop. This high here was taken out by this candle here. Yeah, and even this high was taken out by this candle here. So making this also a high liquidity zone, right? And then here further, obviously, this big move up has taken out a lot of 1 hour supply and 4 hour supply. So making that also a high liquidity zone. Okay. Now, let's see if we have a high liquidity candle in here. here on the 1 hour time frame, there is nothing. On the 30-minute time frame, we have this candle right here, 89 pips. We also have this one, 117. Let's start with this. Okay, let's start there. Let's go to the 50-minute time frame. Yeah, that's the candle right there. Perfect. That's the candle, right? 115 pips, 493350. Okay, right. The zone below that, this one right here on the 1 hour time frame, we have this candle right here. Let's take a look at the 30-minute time frame. Now on the 30, there is nothing. There is this candle here, which is 135 pips. 126. Let's go to the 15. Yeah, it's this candle here. 137. 151. Let's take a look at the start with that. Let's take a look at the 5-minute time frame. Yeah. This one, this 5-minute candle right here. Yeah, this 5-minute candle right here. So 995252. Price has come into it, has tapped it. There's nothing left in that. Yeah, there's nothing left in that candle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this all the way down here. Okay, that makes sense. We'll use the 15-minute candle here and bring it to the base there. This low is 048350. Yeah, that's better. Okay, done. Down here, that's a wide zone, so we might have 2 liquidity candles in that now. Let's take a look at it. On the 1 hour time frame, it's this big candle here, 344 pip candle. That's the largest. Let's start with that. That's the gap up. Yeah, that's the gap up candle. That makes sense. Thirty-minute time frame. Just give me a second. I'll be back in a minute. Sorry about that. Okay, so 15-minute, 30-minute time frame. It's that candle right there. Yeah, that candle makes sense. Let's take a look at the 15-minute. It's a clean move up. 394 may move up. Yeah, 191. Yeah, this candle, this 15-minute candle right here. 654786. Okay, done. Okay, right on time. 2 minutes to the NY Open. So that's the, we have two new demand zones here. There's another one here, third one here, and then these supply zones are from last week, right? That price is heading to. Now we've already have a plan. I've already explained that in the first 10 minutes of the stream. I explained what could happen here, what to watch for, what to wait for, right? That's most important, what to wait for. Now let's take a look at what price has done in the Asian and London session. Let's go to the 15-minute time frame. Any questions? Any questions on anything that I've done so far? Please feel free to ask in the chat. Okay, that's the market open. Extremely bullish, very bullish. It was very bullish NY session yesterday. Yeah, this is the market open. The market opened at 3290.5, right? 3290.5. Yeah, we could come down. We could come down. We could come down either today or tomorrow. We could come down. This is just, there is no volume here. There's no liquidity here. It's price has grabbed it on the way up. You can come through all of these. Once it comes through all of this, it's coming straight to 3265, right? Now, is it going to happen today or tomorrow? We don't know. Yeah. Five, 5-1. As high as 454. As low as 846. Zero double five. Okay, we're ranging right now. There's nothing on the 1 hour time frame. Look at that. That's all that's happening right now. Nothing to do, right? Well, look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is the 5th hour just started, just ranging. And if you consider these two as well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 6 hours, we've just been in this small range here, just stuck here, just moving sideways. There's nothing to do right now. Okay, let's take a closer look at what price has done. All right, so in the Asian session, we moved down 289 pips, 290, let's say. That's a liquidity grab to push up. And in the London session, about 220. So 290, 220 pips, right? Now, the market opened here. We were very bullish, right? Coming off the NY session. Now, okay, 17. Yeah, so okay, so the move started before NYSC, which is a good sign. It's a very good sign. We've not had volume prior to NYSC for several weeks now, right? So this is a good sign. We need one more of these days, a lot of volume to know that volume shifted to the first 2-3 hours of the NY Open, right? That hasn't. This is just one. We need one more. We need 2 consecutive days to see that. Now, price opened here, just above 3289. We're very bullish. We ranged. Um, this was a liquidity candle. Price dipped in past that liquidity candle, 23289, grabbed liquidity, pushed up. We formed the Asian low and pushed up, formed another liquidity candle, closed above 3300. Came back, tapped it once. We tapped the liquidity candle and 3300 once. Came back, tapped it twice, the liquidity candle, and pushed straight up past the Asian high. So we pushed up, create the Asian high, then came down, create the Asian low. And we haven't come to the zone yet, right? Price hasn't come to this liquidity candle. So absolutely no sells. Absolutely no sells at all right now, okay? Price hasn't touched the liquidity level, it hasn't touched 329. So even if price drops 100, 150, 200 pips, I'm not selling, right? Because price hasn't tapped the liquidity level yet. Just a second. Yeah, 4 hours on the 1 hour. Yeah, there is no top wick. There's no top wick. We are coming up, right? And there's no top wick. So okay, so price push past. We created the London high, formed 30-minute resistance, and push back to the liquidity candle the third time. So that's once, twice, 3 times to the liquidity candle. That's inside the London hours. This is also London hours, right? So price has pushed back down. Now created 30-minute support once, pushed up. We created 30-minute support once. This was inside London hours. This support is inside pre-NY. The support is inside pre-NY. Yeah, I'll be looking for buys. All right, that's obvious. I'll be looking for buys. No sells. Price needs to. There is no top wick. We are coming up. 100 pips to get up there, and then here about 200 pips, 180, 160, and then 180, 190 pips, right? And we could push further up if we have volume. We could push further up to 3,350 even, right? Okay, so now for buys, one second. Let's see. "30-minute support formed already. I'd like to see this 30-minute support form further down here, but it formed higher. We rejected the Asian high. Formed 30-minute resistance. Formed 30-minute resistance. Yeah, we're coming down. We're coming down. But I'm not selling. Yeah, we formed 30-minute resistance in pre-NY. We're coming down. Can't sell here because we've got a demand zone right here and a liquidity candle right here. This liquidity candle. The 30-minute. Yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this here. That's better. Yeah, that's the zone. Okay, drop two basin candles and a rally. So this open is 423. Yeah, correct, 423. Yeah, we're coming down. Coming down for sure, but I'm not selling because it's too close. We've got just 40 pips away, 30, yeah, less than 40 pips away is a liquidity candle. Makes no sense at all. We formed 30-minute resistance. We've rejected the Asian high. We formed 30-minute resistance. We are pushing down, but I'm not selling. I will look for buys. Once price comes down here, I'll wait for 30-minute support to form. For a 30-minute tradable bull candle to close, to look for buys to head up here, right? The further down it comes, the better, the more profit potential, right? For price to run to 3329. First to the liquidity candle, which is 3326, and then 3329, and then 3350, right? Those are the TP levels. Let me repeat that. 3326, 3329, and then around 3350, right? That's what I'm going to be waiting for. I'm going to wait for price to continue down. It should come down. Wait for 30-minute support to form. Tradable 30-minute bull candle to close to take the trade to go up. That's the idea. No selling. I'm not selling. We're in the middle here. Prices hasn't reacted to. Sorry. Price hasn't reacted to a liquidity level to sell. It hasn't, right? In the London session, we haven't tapped the liquidity candle or a weekly SR level or any one of these liquidity levels for price to reverse, right? So price is definitely coming above this. There is no top wick. We're pushing up, but I want price to push down, form 30-minute support, then look to take the trade. Now, if price does this, then there's nothing I can do about it. If price comes down, forms 30-minute support, and doesn't pull back, then there's nothing I can do about it. Then you just watch price push up without you, right? But if you want to take the breakout, you can. I don't do that. I don't take a breakout because there is no guarantee that price will continue up without a pullback. There is no way to know that, right? So that's the only reason I don't take breakouts, because there is no way to know that price will not definitely pull back down before heading high. Even if it breaks the high, it can always pull back and then push up. So then if you take a breakout here, stop loss is way too wide. That's the reason I never take breakout trades, if that makes sense. Because I don't know whether no one knows if there's going to be a pullback or not. So I always wait for the pullback. Sometimes price doesn't, like what happened yesterday. It doesn't pull back. It just continues up, and then there is no trade. That's it. There's nothing you can do about it. So right now we're ranging. We're in this ugly range. So I'm waiting for price to basically break out of this range, right? Pull back, create sort of 30-minute support, and then push up, right? It can also create 30-minute support here. That's possible too. And if that happens, then I'll look for a trade. But we've formed 30-minute resistance twice, so I believe price should be pushing down. Price should be pushing down. Yeah, and then we could get our trade to go up, right? So I'm looking for buys in this area that I'm circling, this area, anywhere here, anywhere in this area or below, anywhere in this area or below, right? I'm looking for buys, and what I'm waiting for is 30-minute support to form, and either with that 30-minute support forms a tradable 30-minute bull candle closes, or the next candle close a tradable 30-minute bull candle, and I'll draw the M15 fib and wait for the pullback entries to push up. For sells, price needs to come up here, right? Form 30-minute resistance, a tradable 30-minute bear candle needs to close for me to take sells, right? And that'll, if that doesn't happen, and we start to range here for the next 4 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours, 8 hours, then we know what's happening. Prices then, that means price is trying to continue high to 3,400. That's all it means, right? If it starts to range here for the next 4 to 8 hours, that means we're ranging, but we're going to continue up to 3,400. So this is then, it was a reversal at the bottom for price to push up. If we form resistance here, 30-minute resistance, once price gets here in the first 2 hours, first even 2.5 hours, and starts to push down, then we know this is a liquidity grab, and that means price is coming all the way down here to the origin of the move. This was the at least to 3230. We're coming here, at least somewhere here. That's a good drop, right? We're coming at least there, and even further down. So we just wait now. Wait for 30-minute candles to close. 16 minutes more for this candle to close. Very straightforward. It's not simple, but it's straightforward. Once you have a plan, you just wait for candles to close the way you want, the way you kind of visualize them. And if they close in that way, then you have a trade. Then I have a trade. If it doesn't, then I don't have a trade. Any questions? You can drop a message in the chat. Yeah, it might take another this 30-minute candle and maybe even the next one before we start seeing some sort of structure. Might have to wait for maybe about 45 minutes before we start seeing structure. At least 45 minutes. That's the minimum. Hmm. This is going to take a while. It's going to take a while. It's just ranging here. There's no volume. 15-minute candles have no volume. 40 pip candle. Yeah, we're gonna need to see a big push down or a big push up, a lot of volume to come in, and then see structure. 30-minute support or resistance form. We should be coming down. Should be pushing down. Should be pushing down. This is to know where we're coming to. Could come here, deeper. 3297. Can't sell here. Too close to sell. Too close to sell. Even though price, I said it's coming down, it's got a liquidity candle right there. Can't sell. It's coming down. It should come to 3,300. Should come to 3298. Yeah, coming down. 30-minute resistance formed. Pre-NY. This candle open IC markets server time 1500 hours. So go to the 50-minute time frame. That's just before this candle. Before this candle took out this high. This one took out this high. This is inside pre-NY. That's the highest high. This is the most recent low. Low to high. This low is 672. This high is 638. Yeah. Price did come up, tap the optimal entry here, and it's pushing down. But I don't want to take a trade like that because there is a liquidity candle right there. It just makes no sense. It's it's okay, but the better trade would be to wait for the buy, price to push up. That would be the better trade. And hopefully it'll not do what it did yesterday, move without a pullback. This is correct. This is a pullback. So you have the 30-minute resistance formed here, right? Even you have 30-minute resistance here. We're trading below the Asian low. That's perfect. That's a second reason. Then you have a candle 15. You can wait for this candle to close if needed, since this is not a tradable 30-minute back candle close, but it formed resistance here, but it's not a tradable 30-minute back candle close. So you could wait for this candle to close, and then you could enter here, right? And that would be your safe stop loss above there, about 50 pips. But the issue is, got a liquidity candle right here, and price can react anywhere and push straight up You need to have space to trade, for your trade to run. You need to have space. If we get, if 30-minute support forms here and a tradable 30-minute bull candle closes, there is space for price to run to liquidity, to the next liquidity level. There is a lot of space, right? That's what I mean. Even yesterday, right? There was no pullback, but we said that area had been tapped. This was sixth time. Price is going to break through all of them. So there was space to run, and it ran. If there was a pullback, that would have been an amazing trade to be on. Coming down. Yeah, we've come to that T2 level, 3301.5. Should push up now. We could come here, 3297. Depends if price needs to grab more liquidity to push up. Because now we're in a liquidity candle. So when price is in a liquidity candle, it doesn't need to, it depends on where, eh, we don't know where it's going to grab enough liquidity. Is this enough? Is it going to form 30-minute support here and push up? Or is it going to come deeper and then form 30-minute support to push down? We don't know that. Yeah, coming here, 3297. It's a nice push down. Wow, 150, 107, almost 160 pip push down. There is volume. This is the second day. Wow, nice. There is volume. Almost 200 pip, 15-minute candle. 200, over 200 and pip, 15-minute candle. That's fantastic. NY volume. Let's hope this continues because then we know NY volume is back, and then Thursday, Friday is going to be great. Tomorrow and tomorrow and day after are going to be great. And we come through that liquidity candle. Went right through it. Can get rid of it. Now we're reacting to this, whatever's left of that. It was fantastic. Went right through. Get rid of this as well. And the reason I get rid of those is because price is now reacting to the zone below, right? Makes sense? To this one, to this 4-hour demand zone, not to that one. We went through that. And this liquidity candle right here that we marked on the 15-minute time frame, that was the liquidity candle. Price has come, respected the low, and is trying to push back up. That's nice volume. So 15-minute candle, 200 and almost 210 p 15-minute candle. Fantastic. Still waiting. 30-minute support to form. Tradable 30-minute bull candle to close for price to push back up. Right? That's the trade I'm waiting for. Coming further down. We're going to break through this liquidity candle, go further, come to 3289, very likely. 30-minute candle is closed strong bearish. Yeah, we're coming down, pushing down. 3289. Pushing down. The next candle should break the low and continue down. Yeah, could have a pullback and continue higher. That's a strong bull candle close. We gotta wait. Gotta wait for 30-minute support to form. Hmm. 15-minute time frame. Where is support? 15-minute time frame. Yeah, there is support right here, close below. 3307. Yeah, 3307. Could head to 3307. Back to 3307. It's very likely. See how this 15-minute candle is going to close? It's going to close a doji. Likely. Let's see. Yeah, we're closing a doji. Let's see. 16 seconds more. We're going to close above the Asia London low. Close above the London low, we could continue to push up, or if we close at it. It's a good sign if we close at it. Yeah. Yeah, could push up 84. Could come back, grab liquidity here for this candle, and then push back up. Now pushing up. $84. 3307. That's where resistance was, minor time frame. Yeah, this is, it could come here, 3307. Yeah, 3307. Could come back to 3307. Yeah, we've grabbed liquidity from here to push up. We could continue higher. If 30-minute support forms, if 30 minutes, this candle has respected this low, if 30-minute support forms here, price could pull back to 3,300 or here and then continue higher. That's possible. And we could be going to to 3320 if 30-minute support forms. That's a big if. Heading to 3307. A 30-minute candle needs to close bullish. Thirty-minute support, then could wait for a pullback here. That's very wide though. Have to manage risk here. 3295 if price pushes up. This 30-minute candle needs to close above the London low for price to continue higher. If it doesn't, then we're coming back down. 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes more. It needs to close above the London low for price to continue to push higher. Back to the London high. Making this a liquidity grab for price to continue higher. From the liquidity candle. Whatever was left of that liquidity candle. So 3295 3294. Yeah, 3294. What's his open? 92. 3294 makes sense. 3294 is where you would want to manage risk. If you take these buys, that's where you want to manage risk. So wait for the pullback, maybe here or here. Wait for 30-minute candle to close. It has to close above the London high, above the London low. Pull back, take the trade to go up. One five seven zero seven eight. 20 seconds more. Yeah, we closed above. Again, wait for the pullback at 3,300 or here and take the buys to push up to these levels here. Next 3329 and 3332. Six. We should tap here and pull down, push down. But we've closed above, so you could tap here, push down, and then continue higher. 3294 is where I'd manage risk on this trade. Yeah, we're heading to 3307. That is, there's a minor support level there. And then we're heading to 3312, 316, 320, 326, 329, if there's volume, yeah, if there's volume, and 332. If there is volume. I'm placing a pending order 3,300. And then one at the London low, which is this 3298.46, 3298.45. Yeah. I took an entry around here, 3301.8. Touch of that optimal entry. Should push up. Let's see if there's volume. Yeah, we should be pushing up. We should push back to the London. We should be pushing back to 3320. Closed above the London low. We should be pushing back to the London high. Depends if there's volume though. We should technically push up. Let's see. But here's where to manage risk. 3294. If you break 3294, you close partials. If a 15-minute candle closes below, you close everything. About 60 pips. I've taken a trade here on my other account, just under this, around here. First get here and then these levels. And here's where you manage risk. The reason 3294, we have resistance here. We look at the 50-minute time frame. We have a support level here. If price close below, then we come further down. It's coming to 3289, right? That's why 3294. If it closes below, it came here. If it closes below, it came here, right? See, if it stayed below, then it came here. But if it stayed above, then it continued higher. So that's the reason for 3294, right? That's how I manage risk, at least on the streams. Price could come to 3,300 and also to the London low. That's possible too. Even here it's possible. Yeah, we could come here as well. 589. Yeah, we tapped 3,300. That's triggered. So I placed a pending order 3,300. That's triggered. I've taken one here as well. That was a market order, and the pending order is triggered 3,300. Could come further down as well. Even here, 329589. But it might not. Just continue higher. Yeah, coming to 3307. Taking partial positions there at 3307. Once we taps it, close about 30%. Oh, almost there. Ooh, missed by 2 points. Wow. Coming back down. Seems like it. Should push up. That's a strong bull candle. Yeah, I'm going to be here for another maybe 5 minutes. It's coming to the end of the stream. Maybe 10 minutes more. Taken pending orders here. I took orders here. I took a market order. This pending order got triggered. I also did take some orders down here when the 5-minute candle closed strong bullish. I did take out on the pullback. Took out a I took a trade here. But I'm holding this trade. I'm going to hold. I'm going to hold that. These ones, I'm going to close partial positions on the ones I took here. 3307. 3307 and then 3312. Yeah, partial positions closed. That's about 65 pips. 68, 67 pips from here. I close partial positions here. Waiting for, also got 33, yeah, 3312. 3312 should be next. Three three oh nine as well. 3309. We're tapping, we're rejecting this. I'll be back in 2 minutes. 3309. See if you can get up there. You should get a pullback here. Price should come back down. That's minus support 3307. That's why it's marked there. That's minus support. It's lower time. We got resistance there. We rejected this area once, twice. Then we formed support here. Again, we pushed up from this candle here. And now we've come there 3307. So that is why that's important to close partial positions there. Got to close 40-50%. You should close. If you took this, then that's about 69-70 pips. Or at least 60 pips you should close if you got in an entry here, because you could push back down from there. A 15-minute candle needs to close above for price to continue higher. 4-hour candle is pushing up. We're trying to reject that area. If a 5-minute back candle closes, a strong back candle closes, that means we're rejecting that area, coming back down. Wait for the 5-minute candle to close. If it's weak bearish, then we're pushing up. But if it's a strong bearish candle, like how this was a strong bullish candle push up, if this is a strong bearish candle from this area, so 3307 is just like 3294, right? So if you have a strong rejection, then we're coming back down. Wait for the candle to close. We're coming all the way down. Yeah, we're pushing down. 5-minute back candle is closing strong bearish. 15-minute candle is also very likely to close bearish. Needs to close above for price to continue higher. If you reject, we're coming back down. Yeah, we're coming down. 5-minute candle closed strong bearish. Yeah, I'm going to close some of my positions here. Yeah, it's closing. We rejected this area 3307. I've closed some of my positions, waiting for now the 30-minute candle to close. If the 30-minute candle close, if it rejects the area and closes strong bearish, then and the next one breaks the low, you can close 60-70% of your positions left that are left, even 80%, because that means we're clearly rejecting that area and we're coming further down. I've closed some when the 5-minute candle closed. Now waiting for the 30-minute candle to close. See how we're pushing down. Strong bearish candle close from 3307. That's why I mark these levels on the chart. These levels act as partial close levels and also areas where you need to watch for to manage risk. So 3294 is exactly like 3307. That's lower time frame, a minor time frame resistance, and this is a minor time frame support, right? So if we break below, if we break below 3294, then you have to manage risk, right? But right now we rejected 3307, so you got to close something because there's a clear 5-minute candle that closed below it, and the 15-minute candle is trying to close bearish below it. That will also be the close of the 30-minute candle. So let's see what happens. 2 minutes more, 2.5 minutes more for the candle to close. Let's see. Yeah, I'm going to end the stream. So the idea that I took were buys. I'm still anticipating price to continue to push up. These were the ideas. I'm not giving out any other setups because this was the setup that we had planned for buys, right? Not for sells, we had planned for buys. I'm not giving out a sell setup. Neither am I giving out a buy setup. No setups for the rest of the day. This was the setup. I said I'm waiting for 30-minute support to form and a 30-minute tradable bull candle to close to take the buys to go up, right? That's exactly what we did. 30-minute support from a liquidity level. It's a tradable 30-minute bull candle close. Look to take I took partial positions here, but now price is struggling at 3307. This 5-minute candle has to close strong bullish for price to continue higher, to go above this, to break this high. Because then the 30-minute candle would close bullish, and then you can continue to hold your positions. If you have any positions left, you can continue to hold them. If they close bearish, then you should partial close. Should partial close. If the 30-minute candle closes bearish, should close something, at least 20%, 25%. 20 seconds more. Let's see. Yeah, we're closing bearish, I think. 15 minutes is closing a doji. 5-minute closed bullish. Okay, I can hold it. 5-minute closed strong bullish from here. Okay, I'm holding the rest of my position. I closed a couple of them. I'm holding the rest for, let's see if we can get above this, if we can break above this high. Because this candle closed bullish, making the 30-minute candle closed also bullish. but there is no bottom wick, so we could come down and then push up, right? Okay, so I'm still holding some buys to push up to these levels: 3309, 3312, 16, 20, 26, right? Let's see if we can get there. So no trade ideas. This was the trade idea, the buys that we planned for before the NY session started, and I'm in the trade. So let's see if we can push up. I've closed about 60, 70 pips here. Yeah, 68, 69 pips I closed, partial positions. Closed a few more when this candle closed, when we rejected the 3307 minor resistance level. I closed here as soon as the candle opened. I'm holding the rest. All right, so back tomorrow. 7:30 a.m. EST, right? Back tomorrow, 7:30 a.m. EST. We look for, we do our analysis and look for opportunities in the first 2 hours of the NY session. The good thing is we're having volume now, right? That's a 15-minute candle, 200 over 200 pip 15-minute candle. There we go. We're pushing up. We broke the high. We should continue higher. All right. See you guys tomorrow, 7:30 a.m. EST. Take care. Right? The idea was buys, and that's what's playing out right now. This is where I would manage risk. If I will not wait for this. I will not wait for price to come here. If a 30-minute candle closes bearish, then I will close a few more positions. I'll close probably 20%, 25% more, right? If it doesn't, then I'll let the 30-minute candle start to close bullish, continue to close bullish, then I'll hold it to go all the way up. If it closes bearish, then I'll start to close 20%, 25%, 30%. I'll manage risk. There we go, 3309. Yeah, 3309 tap, partial close positions there automatically. Some of the positions are closed. Waiting next for 3312. All right. See you guys tomorrow, 7:30 a.m. EST. Take care.